What's your biggest takeaway, Max?
Oh, did a no-look pass. That was pretty good. My biggest takeaway is Carmelo is apologizing for shooting a long two. My biggest takeaway is Carmelo might work out. And Stephen A., you've been talking about this because playing with Chris Paul and also asking to go there, wanting to go there. It's important whether fans or who are used to the old school way of doing things in sports realize it or not. It's important nowadays with athletes, not as much in the NFL, but certainly in the NBA, as empowered as they've become, for the player to want to be in a situation. Carmelo wanted to go to Houston, Stephen A. He understands that the league has changed, and the understanding of what's important has changed. So you get a guy like Rudy Gay, for example. When Rudy Gay turned pro, we're like, ooh, that might be a star. And the problem was he was playing in a league that was becoming increasingly efficient, an inefficient game, lots of long twos and stuff. Now, there's still talent in there, right? A guy like Popovich goes, no, I can work with that. And in the right situation, that can be unlocked. But it's the right sign that Carmelo shoots a long two and realizes that's not what we do here. And it's a signal that he's willing to play the way they want him to play, that he has bought in. And it could work out in Houston better than I thought.
Well, can I correct one thing I said? 6 of his 8 shot attempts were threes. I'm not sure what I actually said.
Well, listen, here's the deal. First of all, the first thing I pulled away from it is, what have I been telling you? CP3 with Carmelo Anthony is going to help Carmelo Anthony tremendously. They are as tight as brothers. They love one another to death. And I think that CP3 easily is going to be the greatest point guard that Carmelo Anthony has ever played with. Carmelo Anthony, Jason Kidd, it was beyond his prime, but obviously was effective. But then you got CP3. It's just something special to behold. And the shots that Carmelo Anthony is going to get, particularly in a Mike D'Antoni system that unleashes Chris Paul with a James Harden, who combined for 11 of 14 from 3 last night. We got to keep our eyes on that, okay? So Melo is going to feed off of that. He's going to get his. I think he's going to have a much better season than he did last year in Oklahoma City, and he's certainly going to have a significantly better time.
Couldn't have a worse one.
Well, again, yeah, but again, it was a tough transition for him, for a variety of reasons. And now that he's going to be in Houston, I think it's going to be a better situation for him. Okay.
I want everyone at home. I want everyone at home. No, I'll wait until the highlight's over, because when Stephen A. goes like this, he goes heavy-lidded, he goes like this. For a variety of reasons.
Listen,
what does that mean?
I have no comment on that. It's none of my business.
Well, let me tell everyone. Read between the lines. When he says for a variety of reasons, it means there are some things he can't divulge, but they have to do with things you haven't heard that may have made his season worse.
But I will also say this to you. I did find myself a little bit worried about my prediction with the Lakers, because I said, damn, the Houston Rockets. If they hit jump shots like that. If they hit jump shots like that, it's just, ooh, it's going to be a problem.
Let me ask you
It's going to be a problem.
Because much was made whether he'll come off the bench, whether he'll start. Does it mean anything that he started in this preseason game?
Yes, it does. It means something that he started because of what I said all along. He's not coming off the bench. He can talk all the nonsense he wants to. There is no it would be the ultimate indictment against Carmelo Anthony if he were to come off the bench for this team, because Ariza and Luke and Mbah are gone. If they were both still there, that would be different. But with them being gone, there is no excuse on God's green earth for Carmelo Anthony to be coming off the bench for the Houston Rockets. That would be saying, you've really lost it. We don't really believe in you, but we're going to milk whatever contribution we can get out of you.
I disagree with that.
On this team.
First of all, I don't care who starts. It's who finishes, really. Like in crunch time, who's going to be out there? And how many minutes are you playing?
But D'Antoni cares who starts.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you something else.
Because you got to remember, D'Antoni is notorious for a short rotation as the season wanes.
Yes, that is true.
Right.
And Melo cared in OKC. We know that.
But here he's saying, sorry for shooting the long two. I should have shot the 3. So, he's buying in.
Because he can shoot the 3.
CP3 and Harden means not only do you have 2 dynamic playmakers and brilliant basketball guys in their prime on the same team on the floor at the same time, like MVP practically caliber players, but you have overlap enough that you have all 48 minutes of your point guard covered. But Carmelo, I love the idea of him in the second unit, because he can be the focal point of the offense in the second unit. Like, Carmelo works playing 30 minutes a game coming off the bench as long as he's finishing. Who cares who starts?
No. He cares. Again, we know Max doesn't care. That's clear. But the point is, he cares. And because he cares, if you're Mike D'Antoni, you have to be receptive for that. Because, again, if you don't care, then you're dismissive.
Let's say D'Antoni comes to him and says,
if you don't care, then you're dismissive of how he feels, and then you have to worry about the level of production. If you remember what I said to you with Eric Gordon, you remember what I said to you with Eric Gordon, he can come off the bench because he's been doing it.
Out of time. Why'd you just gloss over he's already backing down on his Lakers?
I'm not backing down.
Oh, you're nervous.
I'm nervous.
I saw that.
I didn't back down. I'm nervous.
Shaking in your boots.